There we go. All right.
You're listening to PhillyFunkRadio.com, the funkiest radio on the web.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Philly Live Show right here. And we are broadcasting live right here from our studios in Overbrook Farms. And here we go. Let's go to our cameras and let's go to our guest. There we go. We're on. All right. So as always, I'm your host, Jerry Wilson, and we're, of course, joined by my co-host, Mr. Van Stone, as well as Miss Whitney and Hector, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. All right. So as always, I'm going to start out going to Mr. Van Stone. Van, how you doing today?
All right, I'm fine. Welcome to the Philly Live. And of course, we have a combination this week with a brand new spinoff show. It's the Hector and Randy show, dealing with, of course, umpires, baseball, Little League baseball, and professional baseball, and other topics, all things that have something to do with baseball. Of course, my co-host is Jerry Wilson here, and we're in Philadelphia live. I'm broadcasting from my studio here on Walnut Street, 50th and Walnut, between 50th and 51st. And there's a lot of exciting things going on coming into the spring. Well, spring season is here. We're also here, of course, with Ms. Whitney, DJ Whitney, better known as from the Whitney Show. Great show. We've been following her show, broadcasting that show on Facebook, and also been dropping on YouTube. And she's got a lot of followers, and also on Philadelphia Front Page News. So we're just looking to keep that up. And then, of course, the one and only Hector. Hector is the man. He is going to bring us in as an umpire. Just for all the viewers and listeners who may have not paid attention to last week's show, we started a new broadcast with Hector and his partner, Randy. He's not here at the moment. Maybe he'll come in, hopefully. We have a 20-minute show. And this new show, I'm excited about it. So we're really going to roll things, take the lead with Hector, who is going to guide us what we need to talk about. And of course, I'm going to start out with a very important question, Hector. I think this will kind of be an icebreaker to really ease in and start talking. My question with the NEAA, which stands for the Northeast Athletic Association. See, I've done my homework from last time. It took me a minute to catch on. Very important question. Okay, did we lose? Oh, there it is. All right. Do you umpire games that involves females? Because we know that many males are playing, especially in Little League baseball. But are there females in this particular league that you umpire?
Well, yeah, first off, the travel baseball league, so you can have boys and girls. Since I umpire the 7/8s and 9/10s, usually we have a couple females in a couple of the teams. Not many, but we do have a couple. Just mainly because they want to play baseball with the boys, or they just love baseball, or even they haven't found a softball team to join. The league does also have traveling softball, but I don't deal with the softball. I stay with the 9/10s and the 7/8s, with the youth.
Okay. Well, this is Women's History Month. So again, these young girls are going to grow up and be adult women. What else would they grow up to be? So I like to focus on that a little more. You're out there. So is there a difference and the energy between the females and the males that's playing. 'Cause I think the reason why I'm throwing this out there, I think this is a good time for you to talk about this because we talk about gender right now, especially on the pro level or the college level. It's a big discussion. So we need to start here. So, do you feel is any difference? Are the males stronger than the females? Because that's a big argument when they go to the next levels of sports.
At the early age, you kind of do see a little difference, of course. The boys will always be a little bit stronger than the women. So I do see that. And in the cases that I've seen that um, the boys are a little more advanced. Now, when I was coaching, I used to carry two girls on my team. And I loved coaching the girls because they would listen. They wouldn't give you any crap versus the boys. And they were just, they were always ready to play. The boys, on the other hand, they'll come in, they're tired. If we had an early game, they're sleepy on a Saturday morning. The girls were always ready to go. As far as a different type of energy, in softball, there's a little more like, we'll say like a little more cheers than they have in the baseball game. In baseball, the boys are not clapping it up and cheering, whatever it is, the cheers that they do. But they actually do have, coordinated cheers that they start yelling at the pitchers. And, it just I guess it makes the softball game a little more fun than the baseball game. But I don't have any experience umpiring the girls softball. So, from looking at it from the outside looking in, then, the girls do have a little more energy when it comes down to just being on the bench and following directions.
Wow, that's interesting. Whitney, you have any thoughts while we're on this topic?
No, I'm just listening because I just want to have a better understanding, like when it comes to the umpires, and now just differentiating softball and baseball. Is it because is softball has the softer ball? Me, I don't really. I mean, I remember playing softball when I was a kid, and them girls had some fast hands.
Sure.
They always threw underhanded, so
I'm sure.
it was always a fast hand. So I just, I never really took the difference of which was, what was the difference between both sports.
Well, the difference between the softball and the hardball, basically, it's just that it's a bigger ball for softball, and they still hurt. So if you get hit with a softball, it's still going to hurt just as bad as it hurts with the hardball. So, there's not that big a difference. It's really not a soft ball. But, girls usually tend to play the softball. As I got older and I stopped playing baseball and I, became a family man and stopped doing all the sports, I would play softball at work through a church league and stuff like that. So I've seen a lot where, you can really do some good work pitching wise as far as like strength and all. So I've seen some real good girl ball players and some real good guy softball players. So it's just a matter of what kind of time, what kind of dedication you want to put to the game. That's what it comes down to.
Okay. So for training purposes, since this is everything baseball now, and this is a great show you're having, just give us one point to start out I think you might think is more important to know the number one thing, so because what we do sometimes, we do have a training website and we have a lot of different things up there they can train and learn about, from music to health and even broadcasting. Give us something that we wouldn't pay attention to. You're an umpire. What's the number one thing that we can all learn, that we haven't thought about? Let's start with that, and then we can join in and maybe talk a little bit more about it.
Well, I mean, in the younger ages, the number one thing is you definitely have to pay attention. Just be aware of your surroundings because so much happens in one play of baseball. It's not just throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. You really have to really know what you're doing, and if you're not paying attention, you can throw it to the wrong base. Just because you're not. So paying attention is definitely a top. We wouldn't call it a rule, but a tip that I would give you is pay attention to what you're doing.
Okay. Well, and what about safety? Is there a difference in the helmets, as an example? And how do you train, because you're an umpire, to make sure, like, do you ever have to straighten someone out where they may not want to follow the process? Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, at the age, the 7/8s, the rule is that the batting helmets must have a cage covering the face. So, if you get hit in the face, at least you have the mask covering you. But for softball, all helmets have to be caged. So it's not just the 7 and 8s. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on and so on. The softball game really does a lot of safety things when it comes down to the helmets. As far as baseball goes, 9, 10s, you do not have to have a face mask, but the 7/8s do have to have face mask on their helmets when they're batting. You could take that helmet off and put in another helmet when you get to base, but when you're hitting, you have to have a face guard on there. And then, of course, we also have the cups, protective cups for the catchers. They must wear the cups. Whoever's catching is always wearing a cup. I'm not sure what other safety measures are taken in softball.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I got a few more questions. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have something you want to bring in?
No, I'm just listening.
I was
Okay.
actually going to kind of make a joke, like, why do they call it softball? And it's the hardest ball ever. It's a huge, hard ball.
It is. You're absolutely right. There's no difference between the way. It's just the size.
You know what's
It's
funny?
a little bit lighter.
I never really
The
got
softball
in
is
this.
a little bit lighter.
I never really got into sports. I'm not a big sports fan. I remember when I was younger, I tried playing baseball. I got hit in the head with a ball. That was it. That's all it takes, right?
That's right. That's all it takes. Just get hit one time and that's it.
Yes, I was like, forget this. And I went into music and technology. So that's my thing.
That's smart choice. Smart choice. I still, even with the 7, 8, and 8-year-olds, still get hit. I lost the watch because I got hit on the watch. I lost the phone because my phone got hit.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a dangerous spot to be back there.
Here's a question. Have you ever got hit? And I know you have, but have you ever got hit by like a kid throws a ball way off and just hits you right in the head or something?
Not right in the head, thankfully, but I've been hit in my chest protector.
Oh, wow.
So that's a good thing. I was paying attention. I just didn't see the ball coming. And, little sun glare gets me right in the chest. And, it bounces off my protector, but, you still feel it at the end of the day. It was a running joke between me and Randy, how many times we get hit. So, I average about foul balls, hit by a pitch, about 4 to 5 times a game.
Oh, wow.
So you really got to be on your P's and Q's. I mean, I think the hardest shot I took was maybe 2 years ago. I took a foul ball straight to my face and knocked my mask all the way out.
Wow.
And, it didn't hurt me, but it shocked me because I saw it coming dead at me. And my mind's telling me to move away and duck and everything, but you're just looking at the ball and it's coming dead at you. And you have maybe 0.3 of a second and boom, it hits you. And, everybody's like, oh, Blue, you're okay? Are you okay? Yeah, you're okay. I got my protection. I'm okay. It's just the ones that hit you where you don't have any protections, like your thighs and stuff. Those are the ones that hurt.
Yeah, I have an important question about ages. Have you umpired the teenagers? And if so, how old the teenagers?
Well, I have not. I have been asked to umpire the older kids. It's my preference. I like to stay with the little guys because I feel as though my job as an umpire is to try to help them, become better players and help them learn a little bit more with the older kids, I feel as though, to be honest, there's nothing that I'm going to tell them that they're not going to know, or even if they don't know it, they're going to act like they do know it. So for me, I prefer to be with the young kids where, you know, you can show them how to stand the correct way to stand in the batter's box. You can try to teach them how to stay ready, you know, put your elbow up in the ready position where you can swing and stuff like that. This year, I might step up to the 11-12s just because the assigner has been begging me the last couple of years, and I'm thinking about actually just giving it a try. Now, the reason why I stay down in the younger ages too is because the rules to the game change as you get older. For example, you cannot steal bases in the 7/8 division, but you can in the 9/10s. But it's only after the ball is released. So, you know, once the ball is released, the player can steal the base, and it's a lot easier just to control that. When you get to the 11-12s, it's just pure baseball where you can steal bases, you can, you know, you don't even have to stop. So for me, I find it a lot easier to do the younger ages so that, you know, I don't have to worry about all the extra rules and stuff like that.
All right.
Here's a
We're gonna take a short break, 1 minute, and we'll be right back. Hold your thought, Van. We'll be right back.
Okay, thanks a lot.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
All right, and we are back right here with the Philly Live Show, which actually is broadcasted live right now on YouTube, and you can always watch it later on the same YouTube channel. So let's get back to Van. He had a question, and
No. Before I give a question, I'm always doing a reintroduction, of course.
Go ahead.
Because on the half, you know, we may have people who missed the first half. So that's just how it goes. So I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. Of course, you're listening to the brand new show, and you're watching the brand new show, the Hector and Randy Show, dealing with baseball and, of course, Little League. And we're talking about discussion with even college level and also professional. So we're here with Jerry Wilson, of course. He's my partner in crime. We have the other partner in crime, Whitney, DJ Whitney, better known from the Whitney Hickson Show. And of course, we're going to get used to my man Hector, because Hector is running all the information, the intel, and he's given us an idea where we can actually try to use this as a training video. That's also important. So I'm always an announcement guy. Before we get back to the question, join us at any time and listen to, you know, our radio station, phillyfunkradio.com, 24/7. We've got great music, and it could tie in with some baseball music too. You know, we're going to try to make this a little more fun and interesting. I want to throw this back to you, Hector, now. So I just changed my question because something just came across my mind. So when it comes to music, okay, is there a particular music theme while the game is going on? Do you get the kids jumping around, those on the bench bopping their head and wobbling, or is it against the rules?
Well, there's no actual written rule about having music. I know some of the teams, they like to have their kids walk-up song, which is like the most important thing when it comes down to when you're batting. As you see with the Philadelphia Phillies, they have all kinds of songs, and just by the song, you know who's coming to bat. There are a lot of popular songs. There's no real jam session or anything like that when it comes down to the game. Baseball is a quiet game, um, but I allow it, so I enjoy it. So there's a couple teams that do it for all their games. There's a few teams that do it just for their home games. Last year we had a whole team do one song. It was the Kung Fu song. Everybody go Kung Fu fighting. So that was like the highlight of the year as far as music goes.
Okay, so you just taught me something about professional baseball. Once again, that's something that I'm not very familiar with. I follow the other pro sports, but so you're telling me that the music goes out there when the batters actually come up to bat?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When the batters come up, there's songs. Um, there's the Phillies. They do a great job with it. A lot of the players they all use different songs. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the songs right now, but I actually do have a couple on my playlist when I'm driving around. I listen to them. But all the players have their own songs, just like their own personalities. A lot of the Hispanic players they come up with the Hispanic songs, and you know who they are. Bryce Harper comes up to a song; it's like a country song, so it goes from country to rock to rap to hip hop, you name it. Pretty much every player has their own little song.
Okay, so in pro baseball, I think I probably Ms. Whitney might join in on this one because she says she has her favorite pro team. Tell us what's happening with the Phillies. We know the pro league has started. I do know that much. I do carry sports. So what's happening from the beginning with the Phillies? Give us at least those thoughts.
Is that for me or is that for Whitney?
That's for you.
Well, the regular season starts next week. They're playing in Washington, D.C. against the Washington Nationals. Right now they're playing still spring training games, so they're still in training. But I think the season starts on Wednesday out in Washington.
Okay, how you think they're going to do this year?
Well, I mean, as far as go, it's always going to come down to pitching. We do have some good pitching out there, from Zach Wheeler to Aaron Nola down to the bullpen. So it's looking like they're going to be okay as far as that goes. We do have a little questions here and there with the bats. We haven't found a true leadoff hitter, which has been kind of the Achilles heel for the Phillies the last couple of years. Right now it's in between Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner as the main guys. But, if they play to their potential, the Phillies should be able to make the playoffs and hopefully go in a deep run this year.
Okay, Miss Whitney, what's your team? What's your team, Miss Whitney?
Miss Whitney's a fraud. She likes the Pittsburgh. She likes the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I like the Pirates.
Okay,
I'm all about Pittsburgh. The Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers.
Okay, well, on baseball though, how come that's your team and you're not? The Phillies is not your team.
Because I'm all about this. I like Pittsburgh. Like, even though the Pirates are like, they're not doing good. I never heard them doing anything. But it's just to support, the underdogs sometimes. The Penguins, as far as ice hockey, they do very well. But the Pirates don't. You don't even hear nothing about the Pirates. So, it's all about the Steelers really up in Pittsburgh.
Okay. So real quick, I don't know how much time we have. How much time we got left, Jerry?
Sorry, mic was off.
That's all right.
About like 3 minutes.
Okay, we got 3 minutes. So we're going to get a good nutrition question out. I said this is how the show is going to go. Also, a little I guess trivia. So I'm going to throw it to you, Hector, when it comes to umpires and nutrition. We're concerned about you guys' health. You guys have to be in great shape in order to carry a game. So what's the meal that an umpire should get before he showed up to a game. Then we're going to throw it back to Miss Whitney, and we're going to let Miss Whitney really say, what should you guys be eating? And Miss Whitney is also a professional chef. So let's hear what you guys should be eating before
usually my games start at 6:00, so it takes me around 20 to 30 minutes to get to my location unless I'm next to my house at Juniata. But basically I'm going off of energy from lunch.
Oh my God.
So I usually after the game, because the teams are very accommodating to us, and they let us, grub on their snack checks, so we can get hot dogs, pretzels.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that. So,
but it's always good to eat after something like that, because sometimes if you eat before, you can get sick. That's just like exercising. They always say go and eat after exercising, because if you eat before, you might get nauseated, your stomach not fully digesting the food and stuff. So, I mean, he's not doing nothing wrong. I mean, hey, it's a baseball game. He's getting hot dogs, protein. There we go. Got a little bit of snacks, some fiber in there, So, I mean, he's not doing nothing wrong, because he doesn't have time, especially if he's coming from work.
Right. Now, what I really do like to do is to have enough water and Gatorade, because it does get hot out there, and, you try to stay hydrated and stuff like that. So I guess my meal would be Gatorade and water.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. I mean, you and Miss Whitney right on point. So there you go with the trivia as far as health. So you pretty good as an umpire with your recommendations for the other umpires how to stay healthy. I think that's a very important question.
All right. So we're pretty much going to wrap up. As always, we ask everybody to give a final thought, 30 seconds or less. Who do we want to start with today? We want to start out with Hector.
Go with Miss Whitney first.
Miss Whitney, here we go. Okay.
All right, well, I know we've been talking about, I'm going to make this quick. We've been talking about umpiring baseball. I'm going to go off of sports right now. I was just watching the news, and I seen that in Cherry Hill, they are boycotting, like they have like a mile long of protesters on Tesla right now, and they are pissed. And they got the people, like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, these people want him out of here. And you know what? But like we said before, y'all voted for this man. So y'all voted for Trump, y'all voted for Elon. So I'm not feeling sorry for y'all once again. Now y'all out here protesting. This is not what I guess, the Trump administrator was expecting, but they wanted you. They didn't want Elon. So my thing is, you get what you pay for. So I'm just on that note, and to wrap things up, Hector, keep doing your job as far as the empire. You're doing a great job. Hopefully it can expand, and your directors of that would see that maybe we need to move forward to down to the more of the urban areas, to spread and make more money, trying to generate more money, get these baseball, softball teams up.
Sure. No, absolutely. My final thought, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of homework to do, or if any of you guys know the actual answer to this question. A baseball has how many stitches? And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So it's my turn. All right, I'm going to Google that and come back and cheat with the answer. So in the end, my thoughts are, of course, to all our, Philadelphians, and of course all of our cities that watch the show. Pay attention to our programming. This is the season. We're in spring. We've got our great music going on. So you're going to check out our music there, phillyfunkradio.com, as I always say. Stop by, the new studio we have here at 5037 Walnut Street, second floor. Also coming up, we're going to have something just for in-house for the family on the 30th, the last Sunday of this month. We're going to have, hopefully, if this works out, we'll have our new team, Hector, Randy, his family, and any other guests. So Hector, you got time. Invite others to come in. They can come to the game, not the game, but they can come to the event here. The time frame we're getting that together. Arrival time 2:30, and food time 3 o'clock. We're going to try to get Jerry to actually do a remote show right from here. So I just sprung that on him because he didn't hear that. All right, Jerry.
All right. Thank you for letting me know right now.
Yeah.
That's good.
On the
So,
spot.
my final thought is, by the way, what time is that?
So arrival time for the guests to be on the show is 2:30. And then the eating is going to be 3. So we want to do a show, especially right here in the studio, second floor, with you, of course, remoting it.
What day is
Sunday,
that? What
30th.
day?
The 30th, the last Sunday of the month, which is next Sunday, I guess.
Okay, might be able to do it. All right.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
hope so, 'cause we need you
so-
to broadcast live
I got you.
from the studio.
Well, so tomorrow, by the way, we are doing a show, and we're supposed to have a special guest on our show. Mr. Leon King is supposed to be joining us. He is running for judge in the Common Pleas Court, and the primary, I think, is in May. So he is scheduled to join us tomorrow. You know, things happen, but as of right now, he should be on with us tomorrow with you guys, as well. So,
Give us the time. Give us the time. It's a different time.
so it's
tomorrow.
going to be 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And this is based on the Mr. King's schedule. You know, people have things he's running, and he has a whole bunch of different events to go to. So, but he's being backed by a lot of prominent Philadelphians, including Sylvester Johnson, who used to be the police commissioner a long time ago. And he's being backed by a whole bunch of other people. So we're supposed to have him tomorrow. Anyway, let me shut up because my voice is going out. So
Okay.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, guys.